Hello, my name is Christopher Warren. I'm a rescue swimmer with the United States Navy. I've been doing martial arts since about the age of 5, and I was introduced to Master Sifaku and Nabard about the age of 12 years old. And when I started training, I had already been through Taekwondo and some karate. I had my black belt in Taekwondo. And when I started with Master Sifaku, I was immediately surprised at the difference in the training quality. Certainly I had decent technique. I could kick, I could punch, but anything beyond that, I wasn't sure even how to apply it. Nabard, the training method on a physical level, it drove you to understand your body and move your body in a different way so that you're applying the techniques effectively. Probably one of the most surprising things is that just the way that I was kicking, it looked really good, it wasn't effective. I wasn't connecting with my opponent correctly, or connecting in such a way as to cause damage, or to work the opponent away from me, to put me in a better position to win the fight or win the competition or whatever it is that you're going for. Physical things aside, sure, you're going to be in here, you do the iron body training, you're driving your body to a new level. But aside from that, there's also a very deep mental, almost a spiritual kind of quality to Nabard. And it's a drive for excellence. You can take anything that you learn in here and you can apply it to your real life. The biggest thing, especially when you're dealing with physical confrontation, is you have to worry about, you really have to worry. You have to worry about what your opponent's doing, what you're going to do, how you're going to get out of this alive. And one of the things that this has really taught me, and it's taught the other students here, is that you can deal with your fear. You can take that fear, you can own it, and you can overcome what it is that's set before you. It's it's very enlightening as far as who you are, what you can do, and how you can apply yourself. And Nabard has a quality that it's not, the techniques themselves are not set in stone. They're very open to interpretation. A punch is not always a punch, a kick is not always a kick, a block is not always a block. In essence, all of the movements are just that. They're just movements. You're moving your body. And what happens is once you've learned to move your body, you can learn to apply that movement to what needs to be done. And you start understanding on the physical level, it's like, well, my opponent's just another person. And all I have to do is move. I can move, if I can learn to move in such a way that when I fight, I can do it like I was walking down the street. You don't have to think about walking down the street. You just know the movements intuitively. And you could go from here, point A to point B. The same thing with the fighting. You learn to do that. You don't have to think about the technique anymore. You train yourself so effectively for the movement that you can go from point A to point B in your confrontation or the fight or whatever happens. You can deal with it without having to think so much about it. Another thing that I enjoyed about Nabard is that it's just there's not a lot of gimmicks involved. There's not a lot of belt ranking systems. There's not a lot of trophies involved. There's not a lot of hidden fees, I guess you could say, where in other schools I've had to test for various belts. I've tested for black belt in Taekwondo, like I said, Shotokan karate, Aikido, various different styles where you had to pay to take the class, you had to pay for the testing, and then you paid for the new belt, and then your monthly payment increased as you got more senior in your rank. Here, you come and you train. When you're ready to test for your next level, you test. And that's simply it. If we have a very small ranking system, and all it's really used for is not so much for a seniority, it's just to really see where that person is as far as their knowledge and where we can place them as far as what they need to learn, and again, just really how far along they are. And it's very simple, it's very effective. Ego here is also a very big opponent for us here at Nabard. We try to instill a sense of accomplishment and a sense of pride, but also a sense of community. And we try to instill positive values as far as taking what people learn here and applying them effectively, not misusing what we learn here. And that's very, very important here. We're a very community-oriented organization. We also deal with just good attitude, making sure that what we learn here, because what we learn here is also very dangerous. It could be applied in terrible ways. So we try to say, hey, this is not what we're about. We use this only when necessary. And what you can learn here in the physical way, you can also apply out there, again, with dealing with fear, dealing with difficult people, learning how to talk to people, learning how to get yourselves out of difficult situations without having to resort to a physical confrontation. I've discovered that there's so much more to it than that. You learn so much more than just how to win competitions. You learn how to get through life. You learn how to deal with difficult situations and difficult people, so that in the end, you don't have to hurt anybody. You just have to, develop your path, and eventually you realize that the physical side is only the first step, and eventually you learn that it's a path for you personally to strive for excellence in every aspect of your life.